Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is a good movie. When I first saw it, it was one of my favorite movies of 2018. But as time went on, one part of the film wore real thin real fast, and that is the ending. Let me tell you, the ending to Fallen Kingdom is not good whatsoever, and I'm here to tell you why that is. So starting off, let's establish what I mean by the ending. I say that from the point where the Indoraptor escapes its cage to the end credits classifies as the ending of the film. This is, in my opinion, the worst part of the movie, and what takes it down from being one of my favorites of the year. Let me tell you why. For starters, we get the death of perhaps the biggest idiot in all of Jurassic Park, Ken Wheatley. Literally, this guy is the definition of the stereotype of the mean-looking army general type dude who is as dumb as a pile of bricks. He gets tricked by a dinosaur because he wants to collect teeth for a special collection. The dinosaur tricks him by playing dead, which most of the audience likely predicted long before it even happened. Raptors are portrayed as the smartest dinosaur in the Jurassic Park movies, and they tend to outsmart at least one or two main characters, which is understandable. But this is something that anything with a slight level of competence could have pulled off. J.A. Bayona tries to tell the audience that the latest raptor he created was smart, but he just creates a cheap scene where an unimportant character gets killed off and we feel absolutely no emotion at all. We then proceed into an action sequence that is actually pretty good. I know I said at the beginning that the ending wasn't good at all, but the scene where Owen, Claire, and Maisie are in the dinosaur exhibits is actually pretty greatly done and had me on the edge of my seat almost the whole time. I'll give credit where credit is due, and this is a really good scene. It ends whenever Maisie attempts to outrun a dinosaur, which predictably she fails to do, until the also-powerful creature gets trapped under a staircase, allowing her to get to her bedroom and hide under the covers. At this point, the suspense of this movie starts to lose its edge, and it starts to feel unrealistic, which I know is an extreme nitpick considering it's a dinosaur movie. But really, I think that this next scene could have been much better if the dinosaur A, didn't manually open the door to Maisie's bedroom, and B, didn't stand there looking at her for 30 seconds and actually attack her like a real dinosaur would. This sequence feels extremely unrealistic and out of place in a movie that up until that point wasn't too outrageous and didn't stretch the boundaries of dinosaur movie realism. After the horror movie style dinosaur sequence, Owen and Maisie escape and tightrope their way around the mansion to the roof of the dinosaur exhibit room where they are followed by the Indoraptor. Attempting to escape the raptor, they climb to the other side of the glass roof, which, surprise surprise, leads to the edge of the house. Claire conveniently recovers from getting impaled in the leg earlier by a wooden log and saves the day by luring the monster out onto the middle of the glass, where it shatters the glass and falls to its death, or so we thought. It proceeds to catch itself, raise itself back up, and seemingly reinforce its immortality until Blue the Raptor comes out of nowhere and knocks it down where it is stabbed by the horns of a Triceratops fossil. This scene is not horrible, but it just has a bunch of mindless action that doesn't really put me on the edge of my seat like, say, the fight between the Indominus Rex and the Raptors at the end of Jurassic World, or the final part of Jurassic Park where they're running away from the Raptors did. Simply put, this is supposed to be the climax of the third act, and really the climax of the movie, but it fails to do what these movies need to do. Make us tense. After maybe the least intense action sequence in the entire movie, we cut to our characters in the dinosaur housing chamber where some sort of unbreathable oxygen threatens to kill off the remaining dinosaurs on planet Earth, and Claire, our dinosaur rights activist, is faced with a difficult choice. Just let the dinosaurs that are responsible for hundreds of casualties die a deserved death, or think short-term and almost certainly doom humanity by releasing the dinosaurs into the open world with no restraints. Thankfully, Claire has some competence left and chooses to let the dinosaurs die. Then, as this whole emotional scene is coming to an end, we see the gate to the chamber open, and as the camera turns around, we see Maisie the clone girl with her hand on the button implying that she just let dangerous dinosaurs loose into civilization. And to defend herself, she says, and I quote, "They're alive, like me." What? This is literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I am a living thing. They're living things. So I'm going to destroy humanity's chances for survival. That's basically her excuse. I get that this movie had to set up the third film of the trilogy, but there are so many other ways to go about it. A channel called Nando via Movies did a video explaining how this could be better, so there's a link to that in the description. This is perhaps the dumbest moment in all of Jurassic Park, as even the dumbest characters that we've seen in these movies haven't released dinosaurs onto the Earth to roam free. Anyway, after the clone girl lets all the dinosaurs free, our main antagonist character gets eaten by a T-Rex, Owen tries to convince Blue to come with them but to no avail, and we end on a montage of the dinosaurs roaming around the Earth with Jeff Goldblum talking about how humans and dinosaurs must now coexist. The coolest shot in the movie comes during this montage though, whenever there's a bunch of people surfing and then we see the Mosasaurus swimming underneath them. The movie concludes with Blue standing on a mountain in what looks like Arizona, gazing over a neighborhood that lies before her. So in conclusion, what made the ending of this movie so bad? I put the blame on a mix between mindless action and tensionless moments. This is mainly because of the fact that we get a new genetically created dinosaur that's supposed to be smarter and more dangerous than before. Well, that's the same exact thing that they advertised in the last movie with the Indominus Rex, and that was done a million times better than this was. The true magnitude of how terrifying this dinosaur is supposed to be never really lands with me and leaves me kind of bored when I watch the third act. Overall, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom isn't a bad film by any means, and it still ranks pretty high on my list of movies I've seen this year. But it could have been so much better if they went in a different direction after the first two acts were really great. Jurassic World 3, let this film be a warning to you and tell you how not to do an ending. Anyway, that's it for this week's video, guys. Sorry I missed last week, I was on vacation so I couldn't get a video out. If you want to see the week before that's video where I review the Meg, then click the video icon on the right, and if you want to subscribe, then click the channel icon right above that. Anyway, that's all for me, thanks so much for watching, have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.